had everything: money, power, fame. But none of it meant anything now, as he lay motionless in a hospital bed, eyes closed, monitors beeping steadily in the background. To the world, he was unconscious, a billionaire in a coma after a mysterious car crash. But the truth? He was wide awake, listening, waiting. What he was about to hear would change his life forever. Marcus Reed wasn't your typical billionaire. He came from nothing, raised in the south side of Chicago by a single mother who worked 3 jobs just to keep the lights on. Through sheer determination, sharp instincts, and a few lucky breaks, he built a tech empire by the time he was 30. The media loved him, called him the Silicon Savior, but behind the polished image was a man growing tired of fake friendships and shallow loyalty. He'd been betrayed too many times to count, by business partners, by friends, even by people he thought were family. Then came the accident. At least, that's what everyone thought it was. In reality, Marcus had planned it, staged the whole thing with the help of a trusted lawyer and private doctor. He needed to disappear for a while, not forever, just long enough to figure out who truly cared and who was only there for his money. As the days passed in the private wing of the hospital, Marcus kept still, not moving, not speaking, just listening. Nurses came and went. Some whispered things they assumed he couldn't hear. A few were kind, others weren't. But one voice stood out from the rest. Her name was Claire. She was new, young, and didn't seem to know much about who he was. She treated him like a person, not a billionaire, not a headline, just a man in a hospital bed. She'd talk to him while changing his IVs or checking his vitals. About her day, her dreams, her struggles. She told him about her younger brother who was sick and how she worked double shifts to help pay for his treatment. She never asked for anything, she never gossiped, she just cared. At first, Marcus thought she was just another kind soul doing her job. But then, one night, everything changed. The room was quiet, the shift was winding down. Claire walked in, thinking she was alone, thinking he was still deep in his coma. She pulled a chair beside his bed, sat down, and sighed deeply. "I don't know why I'm saying this," she whispered, brushing a strand of hair from his forehead, "but I wish you could hear me." Marcus stayed perfectly still. "You don't know me, I'm just your nurse, but I see you in there. And I don't mean in the charts or the monitors, I mean, I see the person. And I hope, wherever your mind is, you're not alone." She paused for a long moment. "I've seen so many people come and go in here, some with family, some with no one, but everyone talks about your money, no one talks about you, and that breaks my heart." Marcus's throat tightened. He'd heard fake sympathy before, but this was different. Real, unfiltered. Claire leaned closer. "Sometimes I wonder if I even belong here, but when I sit with you, I don't feel so lost. I talk to you more than I talk to anyone else. Isn't that silly?" She laughed softly, but it faded quickly into silence. "I don't know what your story is. I don't know why you're really here, but if you ever wake up, I just want you to know someone was here who didn't want anything from you, no money, no headlines, just hoping you'd be okay." That night, something cracked inside Marcus. Years of loneliness, distrust, and emotional armor, shaken by one nurse's quiet honesty. He stayed in the coma a few more days, unsure of what to do, but eventually he knew he had to open his eyes. And he did. The hospital staff was shocked, the media went wild. Headlines screamed, "Billionaire wakes from coma." But Marcus had only one person he wanted to see. When Claire walked into the room and saw his eyes open, she froze. Her mouth opened slightly in disbelief. "You're awake," Marcus nodded slowly, his voice still weak. "I heard everything." She blinked, unsure of what he meant. "That night, what you said. I wasn't really in a coma, I was pretending." Her expression shifted from confusion to something unreadable. "Why?" "Because I needed to know who was real, and you were." Claire took a small step back. You listened to everything? Yes, he said, and I'm sorry for that, but you need to know you changed something in me. She shook her head, still processing. I was just doing my job. No, Marcus replied. You were being human. That's rare in my world. A long silence followed. For once, Marcus wasn't the man in control. He was just a person asking for a chance to be understood. Claire eventually smiled. It was faint, but real. Then I guess it's your turn to wake up. For real this time. Marcus did wake up, not just physically, but emotionally. He didn't go back to his old life right away. He took time, quiet time. And when he finally did return to the spotlight, he did.